Welcome to the Wandcast, the chapter-by-chapter reread of the Harry Potter series with a fatality of craft brew on the side.
Wow.
I'm Aaron, and I'm here with my two favorite Hufflepuffs, Nate and Jade. Hello.
Hello.
On this episode, we are thinking happy thoughts because we started with a fatality. So we're going to do the thinking thoughts, the happy thoughts.
So we're going to ignore the fatality?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Thinking happy thoughts into chapter 12 of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the Patronus.
Is there going to be pixie dust so we can fly?
There's only one way to know if we get to pixie dust and flying, and that's to stick around and find out.
They did take his firebolt last episode, so he can't really fly, I guess.
He's literally grounded. It's not really even a pun. That's what that means.
This chapter opens with the fallout from the firebolt being taken, but it's actually more of just the fallout of what Nate just said. Harry, like Jade and I, we knew that Hermione meant well, but he's still angry. He's very much on the train of thought that we've brought up. She's not wrong, she's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Ron, meanwhile, is thinking more that what is about to happen to the Firebolt is a criminal fucking offense, so Hermione's avoiding the common room.
It's a perfectly good broom. Why take it apart? And those things are fucking expensive. Don't take it apart. These are all logical thoughts coming from Ron.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's the most expensive. Like, unless a new broom came out in the span of Diagon Alley Adventures to now in the school year, this is the most expensive broom. Like, not a couple canuts.
I mean, they tell you not to take your iPhone apart, and for good reason, right? I'm just saying, you don't know everything that goes into this broom. Actually, as I'm saying this, I know that I'm wrong because they're having the experts at Hogwarts look at the broom.
They're Hogwarts experts. They are not fucking firebolt experts.
They're not the people that built it.
Yeah, there's gonna be.
I got you.
There's gonna be some like notches in your. Yeah. Whenever you take something apart at home, you don't have the tools. You don't know how to pull that shit up. They put it in there precisely, very nicely. They knew how to do it. They're trying to jimmy shit out of there with fucking screwdrivers. Ain't no way. Even if it's magical, ain't no way.
Okay, here's the thing. I want to say something real quick first, because there's someone else who's thinking a lot like you guys are. Oliver Wood has returned to Hogwarts, and he approaches Harry because as captain of the Quidditch team, you have responsibilities, including
winning Quidditch.
Yes, at any cost, which means, Harry, have you figured out your Dementor problem? Because I'm going to kick you off the fucking team if you haven't.
Yeah, if you can't play. Like, as good of a seeker as he is, he's willing to kick Harry off the team.
Wood, you don't have a backup option. Also, talk to the teachers at this school and get some better fucking, measures of security around. That's a medical issue that you're attacking me about, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. You're not going to threaten my spot on the school team. Let's go to the fucking counselor's office right now.
Look, I feel a need to defend Wood here. Jade, you just don't realize how important Quidditch is. Okay?
No, I do. So somebody needs to figure out the problem for me because it's not my fucking fault.
As I've gotten older, I have come to appreciate Oliver Wood so much more. And I love how unhinged he is about Quidditch. He doesn't give a shit. Okay? Harry has a firebolt. Harry says, I'm getting anti-Dementor lessons, okay? Problem solved, Wood. Can I stay on the team? He stays on the team, okay? But the next thing is, he asks Harry, have you got a new broom? That's when Wood finds out Harry's got a motherfucking firebolt in his possession. Asterisk. It's been taken away.
Yeah.
Why does it get taken away? Oh, just because Sirius Black, the mass murderer, is after Harry Potter. Wood doesn't give a shit.
No.
All he heard was your firebolt's gone. Because he says, we need to win Quidditch. I'll go talk to McGee. Again, no follow-ups to the fact that Sirius Black is after Harry Potter.
No, he doesn't care.
Right. It's all about the Quidditch. It's like, she has the broom. I'm going to go talk to her. This is all in his favor anyways, because we know McGee, she's fucking big on Quidditch.
Oh, yeah.
So there's immediately a line to where he's just like, any advantage we can get includes Harry having this thing in his fucking possession. And we know that McGonagall is going to be, shall we say, flexible and sympathetic to our need as the Quidditch team. So, like, let's fucking get it done, Harry.
Also, the only reason that the game wasn't, like, nixed as far as the call because he fell out of the sky was because it was a legitimate win. So if Harry ever falls off his broom because of a Dementor, no, we're contesting that shit.
Yeah, I think it was a bang bang play. Like Diggory caught it,
he
and
would have
then
gotten it
Harry
either way.
and Harry fell like at the same time. So yeah, he wasn't going to catch the snitch no matter what.
Right.
I think if I remember right, that's what happened. And if that's not what happened, all this is getting edited out. So
no, that is what happened.
Yes.
And so I think I know how crazy Wood is, but I would come right back and be like, that just means we've played one more game, Wood.
Mhm.
That's all that would fucking mean.
And the other thing is Quidditch is an insane sport where it doesn't matter if you actually win the game. You just got to score a lot of points.
Right.
So
go talk to your goddamn chasers.
yeah. But I mean, it does help to have a good seeker that doesn't faint in the middle of he's got a point is all I'm saying, okay? Wood, you're
That's
not wrong.
True.
But you're a little bit of an asshole, but you're not wrong.
Look, there are certain players in the NFL that are played less when they go up against the Packers, right? Because the Packers play outside. It's very cold, and that's part of their psychological game. Like, you have to go there and get yourself psyched out. And so they will save certain players, not out of the game by any means, but just some dudes just react to that shit very poorly. And if that's the case, then you have to adjust how you play.
Yeah.
So Dementors aren't going to be there permanently, right? So Harry, maybe we play string B, who doesn't have this very big problem for the team right now, and you figure out your shit, or once the Dementors are gone and the serious situation is over with, then you're back on the team.
Yeah.
Calm down.
I guess
nothing is
that.
forever, you know?
You are the target of a serial killer right now. Maybe it's not safe for the team.
We
in
know
general?
Wood wants Harry on the team.
Yeah.
So there's no universe that if Harry is perfectly capable of playing Quidditch, that Wood would not have Harry in, you know? So like,
And to clarify, Wood is not worried about Black interfering in the match because it's just not, in Wood's eyes, it's not possible for Black to have bought a Firebolt. He's on the run. You can't go on the run and then go into Quidditch supplies and buy a Firebolt. Someone's going to notice.
He had nothing, and then he was locked up, so he escaped with nothing.
So clearly, that's just not possible. We're not even thinking about that. It's just the Dementors that Wood's worried about.
You don't think it's possible that Sirius Black escapes from Azkaban, walks right to fucking Gringotts Bank, and nobody throws a red flag? They're like, "Morning, Mr. Black." He's like, "Yeah, I'd like to make a withdrawal. Every penny I have, please. Every knut."
Thank you.
Yeah, I said it right.
I know that this is just like kind of a moot point, but I guess maybe somebody who snuck out of Azkaban could like sneak into
Ooh, that's a good point.
Quality Quidditch supplies and steal a broom.
That's a good point.
Or sneak into Hogwarts, which is historically very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Oh shit, guys.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't like what's happened here. I don't like that we've returned to Black is a bad person. But what has returned are lessons. The Christmas vacation is done and we are back to school starting. There's added security measures at the school now. So it's been very difficult for Harry, Ron, and Hermione to go talk to Hagrid. The time they do get is when they go to Care of Magical Creatures class. And they actually have a very nice class as well because it's a giant bonfire with fire-loving salamanders.
These salamanders.
Mm-hmm.
What is the special thing about them?
They can live in fire. They're in the fire.
Right.
Yeah.
They require a fire to stay alive?
It doesn't
or
state
they
that, but-
just like it a bunch?
Yeah, they just really like fire. They're just regular salamanders, but cooler.
They probably like to be warm.
You know what? You got me on that.
Yeah.
It's just a salamander that also has the added benefit of being fireproof.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Like the salamander in Frozen 2.
Frozen 2?
Oh, maybe you didn't watch that.
No, somebody's got it's a chameleon. I'm thinking of, this is not Harry
Bernie.
Potter, but it's fucking the chameleon that
Or no, it's
from
Bruni, I think his name is.
I'm Bruni. It's from Pascal from The Long-Haired Princess. Oh my gosh. Rapunzel. Okay.
Tangled.
Yeah, that was that. This is this. Fire chameleon though. Fire salamander. So not the color changing kind.
No.
Just a cool
no,
lizard.
not
We
a
saw
chameleon.
them-
No, his name is Bruni.
Oh,
His name is Bruni, and he goes out. He gets set on fire. He's a fire salamander.
that's me as a okay. That's dope.
See, look
I
at
like that.
fire.
I would never.
So wait, hang on. You're telling me that this thing is in other IP as well?
Well, this thing is in this thing. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but so not only are they studying these things, there's one that's in another IP and it's named after me.
Yeah, he's a fire spirit.
Okay, my initial thing was, do they need fire to stay alive? That means you constantly have to have a fire going, and like that would be a real pain in the ass. It might be a super cool animal, but like they also require a lot of care, and so not for everybody. But if it's just like salamander with the added benefit of being fireproof, that's fucking awesome. Who
Yeah.
wouldn't want that?
Everyone. That's why it was one of the best magical creature classes. And no one could have foresaw that happening. Trelawney can see some stuff happening in Harry's lifelines, though, because divination's back.
Oh.
They're on palmistry. Shortest lifelines she's ever seen.
Oh, of course.
Of course. Of course.
I mean, they're 13, and it's not like they're using various creams and stuff like that to keep their skin soft. And, you remember you as a 13-year-old girl.
I do. You're telling me that 13-year-old boys aren't using lotions on their hands?
No, they definitely are. I'm just saying there's a reason that these lines are very short,
Oh, that's what you were getting at. Okay.
No, you have to sit in what you've stewed, sir. Defense against...
There's a perfectly logical explanation. That's all I'm saying.
Defense against the Dark Arts has also returned, and with it, Harry's anti-Dementor lessons are going to begin later this week. Lupin's not quite ready yet.
Okay.
And Lupin looks tired as fuck, I believe is what the kids say. And Hermione overhears Ron and Hermione, because again, Ron and Hermione and Harry, they're not a trio right now. So Hermione overhears this, and she kind of hints that she knows what's going on with Lupin.
We don't fucking care, Hermione.
Well, Ron is a bit of a dick. He says, if you're not going to tell us, don't tell us. And she goes, okay, deal. I won't tell you.
It's frustrating, but I remember being a child, and I remember, one little thing can set up, or fuck that person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Fine. I'm not going to tell you shit.
And it didn't matter the level. It could be
Yeah.
over, I did steal your eraser.
Yeah.
Or it could be so much worse, but it's getting the same reaction. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you just carry on about your day.
That's when the decision is made. Just there. Okay. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
You both think you're right, so there's a line drawn, and nobody's mature enough to be like, hey, you know what? Maybe we are both right, and we care about each other.
No, impossible. I'm right and you're 100% wrong. Obviously,
So
duh.
keep your secrets.
All my
witch.
friends say the same thing.
Harry finally gets to start his anti-Dementor lessons, and they're using a boggart to substitute for a Dementor, which is quite smart.
Yeah.
Jade, I think you might have a question.
I do.
And I want to prompt your question, I think. Where is Lupin getting the boggarts from? He's finding this one in the castle, but is this the only other boggart that's been in the castle? Did he find a boggart for every Defense Against the Dark Arts lesson? Or was only the Gryffindor class the one that actually fought a boggart?
That wasn't my question.
Oh, damn, okay.
I don't know where the boggarts are coming from. It seems weird that they are in Hogwarts and unaccounted for in the first place.
It's an old castle.
He says he just found it, but like,
Sirius
what's the
Black
origin
came
of a
in.
boggart? We need to
they
figure
just like
that out.
dark
I think they're
corners.
like pests.
What's your question?
So then
though?
it broke into Hogwarts. Anyway, okay. My question is, if it's a boggart, right? It's not really a Dementor. And we say in the lesson that it takes the form of whatever you fear most. Then it could look like a Dementor all day long. It doesn't have the ability
That was
of a
my
Dementor.
question.
And yeah,
it does.
It
but
does.
why does it? Because it doesn't have the ability. Or am I way out of line? Listeners, let us know what you think of this podcast, att@gmail.com. Am I way out of line and thinking that no, but that's why a boggart is so dangerous, because it gets that ability if it takes that form, and it could be anything. And so there, but it just seemed weird to me
That
that
is
a
weird.
boggart has the ability to do the same thing as a Dementor.
Because if it's a wizard, is it able to do spells because it's a
Yeah.
wizard? Can it speak now?
Because that makes it so much more relevant that why Lupin did not let Harry go when they were in class, because of this situation right now,
Yeah.
I believe it would be correct in saying if the boggart had turned into Lord Voldemort, it would have Lord Voldemort-like powers.
Yeah.
But he didn't say that, right?
No.
He says it would terrify the students.
Yes.
Okay.
But here he's implying, or what
He's not even what we see,
find out,
what we experience in this chapter,
Mm-hmm.
and like Harry's spell, like the way that the boggart functions and the way that the spell functions leads us to believe that this is basically a Dementor who has been manifested in the room. But that's fucking weird.
And if you go with that train of thought, then it's not actually that much smarter to use a boggart than the real fucking thing.
Right. And if it was a banshee, like if it turned into a banshee and it screamed, would it kill all of you? Did you just put all of the children did he just put all the children at risk when he did that anyways?
I mean,
Look,
yeah.
I think we're finding out that there's a carryover from last chapter of why is no one asking a lot of the why questions to what's going on around here? Because, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Unless it kind of gives the cop out of this is a book for young adults and we're not supposed to think that much about
all
this.
a
No,
SIBO.
I think the answer is really right in front of us. This is a lesson. The boggart has a very simple solution. No matter what happens, Lupin will be able to take care of the thing.
Even if it does have the full power of a Dementor, you can also beat it by saying ridiculous because it's a boggart.
Because it's a boggart, right.
So
So it's still
okay,
dangerous,
okay.
but like dangerous in a dangerous, but there's an expert here kind of way.
And he knows how to beat it two ways now instead of Dementor only has one way of getting beat.
Bingo.
Okay.
Danger level is still high, but like difficulty of
Okay.
beating level is like halved.
I'm going to say plausible.
The AC is low.
Okay.
I don't know if we're fully
It's
myth
better,
busted.
it's better than the nothing that we had.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Much better.
Yeah.
Much better. Well, Harry has, he's ready to go. He's ready to try for Patronus. His first attempt, okay, because you got to think happy thoughts. His first attempt is about his first broom flight, which, I don't know if that'd be a happy thought. That'd be an exciting thought.
Exciting, but also if we remember his first broom flight, there was a lot of tension during that flight.
Yeah, that's
Also
true.
Also that.
He was
Didn't go
fighting.
smooth.
Yeah, he was fighting with Malfoy that whole time.
Well, the real quick thing that happens right before he tries, he thinks about how he will hear his mother's voice again. He kind of wants to hear it, which is super fucking sad.
Reliving trauma almost in a way. I can I'm not saying that I'm in any way the same as Harry, but I fucking cried in the first goddamn season of this show because of just the whole aspect of missing your mom or like not really knowing your parents kind of a thing, right? So like I've met my birth parent or my birth mom now, my birth dad passed, but like, yeah, there's a lot of time where you don't know what they sound like. You don't know what they really look like, and you would fucking murder to find out. But then, so Harry's getting a little taste of that, and like, I get why that's significant to him.
Well,
Yeah, see, it's getting you
Yeah.
now. It got me too. It's sad.
There's also like when you've been through traumatic things, there's also a thing about like pain shopping where you get like a weird, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna find bad things if you go down a certain path,
Yeah.
but you keep doing it anyways because there's a certain part of you that becomes addicted to that feeling that you get, even though it's bad.
Like we said, the Dementors kind of cause you to go in a depression spiral, and it's kind of all the same
100%.
thing.
Yeah.
Look, this is a little bit of a mood killer, and I feel like I just need a little bit of maybe a liquid pick-me-up. I think maybe we should get ourselves a quick beer, and then we'll take a little break, and we'll be back right after this. Hey, Nate, what are we drinking today?
Today we have Wild Tea Peach. Georgia's favorite fruit is Wild Ohio's, that's weird, favorite drink. At 8% ABV, this sweet bubbly brew is sure to sweep you off your feet all on its own. Looking for a sip of summer? Try a peach Long Island with rum, vodka, gin, tequila, peach schnapps, and a splash of peach wild tea. Yum. Why aren't we doing that right now?
Because that's a lot of fucking ingredients.
That is a lot of ingredients. That's a lot of alcohol to add to a beer. This one, just like the blueberry, gluten-free, vegan, and brewed with real green and black tea.
I've had a sip. I don't know about this one.
Blueberry was a 9.
Blueberry was a 9. And I don't know if it's just that I'm not that big of a peach guy. It's fine. I'm going to give it a 6.5.
You hear that? He said it's fine.
I will give it 6.5 Jack Blacks
6.5
out of 10 Jack Blacks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where are you
Yeah.
at, JD?
I think he's wrong.
Hey, if it
That's
makes you feel
never
better,
happened on this podcast.
I do too. But
think
what do
he's
you
wrong.
think?
I think it's real good, and it's a 9. Little baby Jack Blacks in a cage
Aw.
singing peaches.
If that's what it is, I want to give it a 10 because I want as many Jack Blacks singing as possible. I'm going to go 8 on this one. I don't think it was quite as good as the blueberry. I would say a low 8, if anything. There's a possibility to dip to 7. It tastes great, but the flavor, it's not as vivid as the blueberry was.
But I like peach more than blueberry, so I think
You
that's
love-
where we're
yeah.
going.
Yeah, you've hinted at this before, Jade, but sometimes it helps and is actually very beneficial to not have the exact same beer tastes as your friends. Because then you don't got to fight over stuff.
That's right.
If I crack a peach, Jade cracks an IPA, we just do a little bit of a swap.
Flippity
Everything's
swap.
Everybody's
beautiful.
fucking happy
Yeah.
and drinking beer.
Speaking of being happy, I would be happy if that made sense. I would be happy if we got right back into the book.
All right.
So let's finish these on up and head back into the books, maybe right like after this. We are back. I feel in a better mood. A beer is what I needed, but unfortunately, we get to find out how Harry's first attempt at anti-Dementor tactics goes, and it's not well.
Yeah, in my head, this sounded way cooler than what it actually is. I mean, what it
Yeah.
actually is isn't bad, but it's also just think happy thought therapy, and that's not a bad thing, but also not how you're like, I'm going to kill this thing that looks like the Grim Reaper. And you're just like, just be happy. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm never
focus on
going to
the
beat
good.
it.
Just focus on all the good that's in your life, man.
Just be positive. Like, oh no.
And then to receive immediate feedback that wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Over and over.
Oh, here's this really happy thought. Oh, that's not a good enough happy. Oh, okay.
Oh, God damn it.
Well,
Oh, this is getting darker.
on
You got something happy, don't you, kid?
Have you heard my story before, Professor Lupin?
we're I mean, you know I don't have a lot to pull from.
I'm a book, dude. It was real sad.
Did you read books 1 and 2? On to his second attempt. His second most happiest thought he can think of was last year when Gryffindor won the house championship.
Which I thought was a thin at best. A second happy thought. I've been with you for a minute, Harry. You had better choices.
I know that he's real upset about his parents, but I could easily seeing Erised in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like, he never got to see them live time before,
Yeah.
even if it was just kind of an illusion or whatever. Hey, that's pretty high on my list if I'm Harry. The time I got to actually see my mom and dad who died before I,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to. So that would have been awesome. He's like, that one time we won the game. Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are a Quidditch team, man. You guys should be doing that shit all the time. 1, 2, that is not your happiest moment. You fucking know it.
Winning the first House Cup, like the first time they won it, that was probably a bigger moment than last year. You
Then,
won it too
yeah.
the second year. That's
You've
not
done
as,
it already.
Yeah, that's not as good. Like fucking, I don't know. There's a lot of things I would have picked before this, but okay, all right, Harry. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it plays out for him.
Like, if you're going to show up for fucking Dementor training, right? Try. That's all. Just fucking try.
Just try.
It's important.
Look, maybe it's one of those cases where it's like, I know a lot about a subject, and then someone goes, okay, oh, I don't. Can you name a few examples? And then you go, nope. Jade, I will answer your question here. It doesn't go well.
Oh.
Okay. There
Oh,
may have
shit.
been holes in the happy thought process. So much so that he actually hears his dad this time when
cool.
the Dementor starts to take effect and right before he passes out. So not great. At the mention of Harry hearing his dad, Harry asks Lupin if he knew his dad, and Lupin says that he did, and not just that he did, but that they were in fact friends.
They were buddies.
So I am now going to put my divination pants on and say that the rest of this book is going to be filled with the time that Harry spends with Lupin asking him about what his parents were like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the natural next step, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're all in agreement. Everyone, including you people at home
Wow.
or in your car or wherever
Wow.
you listen to
The
this.
way you say
Yeah,
that.
why are you so mean with those people? Don't call them that.
But we're all in agreement.
Okay.
We
Wow, I don't know if I am anymore. I don't like
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I'm gonna pull back.
We might agree about this. I feel like maybe there's other things we disagree on.
we get to Harry's third attempt. And he thinks a little bit longer and a little bit harder this time. And he gets to what was my first assumption of what his happiest thought would be. It's the start of all of the other things that happened.
Mhm.
The fact that you are, in fact, a wizard, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the happy memory. How is that? Again, 13-year-old. Quidditch is on his mind because he's currently playing it. So he thinks of a broomstick. Then he's like, okay, well, Hogwarts. Thinks of the house championship. No, go to the core. Go to the core of all of it. Thank you, Harry, for finally getting there.
Or-
The
about,
day that Hagrid came in and rescued you from all the bullshit you thought your
Yeah.
life was going to be forever, and you finally got away from your shitty family, you were freed. Quite literally that
Yeah.
day. That is an awesome fucking day.
Or even like hanging out with Ron on the fucking like meeting Ron on the Hogwarts Express would be a better one than
Eating
one of those.
chocolate frogs.
Yeah.
With your new best friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome fucking day.
Hey, maybe it ended poorly, but driving in a flying car with your best friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have, you know
Yeah.
what? I would have accepted that probably.
Yeah.
I think
These-
that would have been a threshold.
These are all the stories they're going to end up telling their grandkids, like, oh, we did some crazy shit back in the
Yeah.
day. Those are going to be all of your best memories.
Well, look, Harry, he's got this memory. He's focused on it, and he tells Lupin that he is ready to go. The door opens, and he shouts, "Expecto Patronum!" And there appears a barrier between him and the Dementor, and he, for the first time, does not pass out.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. It like fades away. Like he can see the Dementor still. It's not like all black and bullshitty.
Yeah, we do find out it didn't do what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, he got it.
Like, they were about to give out, and then Lupin stepped in and did the thing you hinted at. He says, ridiculous, and it turns into a different thing.
Yeah.
So he was able to nullify the Dementor without having to nullify the Dementor, because it's a boggart.
Yeah, he can pull that fucking
So he doesn't have to
ripcord.
kill a Dementor or
and-
some shit.
Yeah.
You know, but it does mention that he sees Lupin put the boggart back into the closet. Assumedly, well, it is a silver-looking orb the whole time. Just a quick little tidbit I want to bring up. That's
Okay.
all.
I kind of picture this as Tenacious D in the Pick and Destiny when Jables is doing the gig simulator. Because he's got to get ready for the big show. And like Kyle is just hucking glass bottles and shit at him and he makes him cry. How do you think it went? I think it went real bad, you know? It's like, okay, well, you can try again.
Well, and that is the part that we get to. We get to the post-lesson wrap-up where we can discuss what went wrong, what happened, what we would do different next time. And the best type of post-lesson wrap-up, big old bar of Honeyduke's best chocolate.
Hell yeah.
That's how I want to do. We should do that for post-podcast wrap-up.
Yeah, we
How
should.
come we don't just...
You haven't brought it over here with you.
That's a,
Because the reality of the situation
good
is,
point.
if we had chocolate down here, we'd be eating it
That's what I'm
during
saying.
the episode.
Yeah, you have,
and we
it
shouldn't
has to
do
come
that. So,
Okay.
for the episode or it will be gone.
well, apparently this was a bad idea, okay? And what else was a bad idea? To bring it up, what else happens to be a bad idea is Harry asking Lupin if he knew Sirius Black. Because Harry quickly, kind of clarifies, well, hey, I knew Sirius and my dad were friends, and you said you knew my dad and you were friends, so you must know him. Lupin just kind of dismisses it and says, I did know him. I don't anymore. I thought I did. Totally kills the mood. Especially when you got Honeyduke's best chocolate. Don't ask questions that kill the mood, Harry. But he has to leave.
Well, what I thought was interesting is that Harry was like, oh, well, seems like Lupin doesn't want to talk about that. I think it's very clear that none of these adults are going to want to talk about this because the person they thought they knew did a bad thing. That's obvious. So the questions you're going to be asking, why didn't you tell me? Okay, we'll get past why didn't you tell me? Because, it's uncomfortable. Okay, cool. So the stories you're going to be wanting, you still want to know what was their interactions like? What do you know about my dad? Like, you still want those questions, and yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable, but that's what you were asking for. That was the whole point of you going down to Hagrid's hut before. Like, you want these answers, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, that made the adult... Of course, being a child and seeing a adult get knocked off of their fucking kilter is a weird thing. And then you're like, oh, okay, I don't know how to act anymore because you don't know how to act, so I'm just gonna go.
I know this is not a new thought, okay? People have said this over and over again. It's a pretty general thing that happens in life. But the fact that I did read these books when I was very close, if not the same age as a lot of the characters in the book. So I reread the series a bunch, waiting for the next book to come out. And we talked about this off air a little while ago, but I had realized very recently that I had not reread the entire series after I finished book 7.
Because you were like 17 or something.
But it was
You were
just
over 17 probably.
yeah, and it was the thing of like I reread books 1 through 6, but then when 7 came out, I was done.
Yeah.
So I never reread it since then. So now I have all the memories of that, and then I have a 15-year time jump. And now I have because it's like this entire book series. I'm like, Harry, how are you not asking anyone about your parents? Ask about the good things. Don't ask about how they died. You know your dad was a Quidditch player. Ask about that.
yeah.
You know your mom and dad met at school. Ask about that. Like, ask. I would even ask Snape. I would be like, hey, you clearly didn't like my dad, but you knew him? And I'm an
Why?
orphan.
Well, and
can
here's
you
the-
tell me about him?
Why didn't you
beautiful-
like him? Was he a giant dickbag,
Yeah.
as you say? What did he do to make you think he was a giant dickbag?
I would straight up think I would ask Dumbledore. I'd be like, can you tell me about my parents, please? I'm an
Yeah.
orphan.
Just end every sentence with I'm an orphan.
Here's the whole wrap up, though, is that Harry, as he's walking back to the common room, is thinking to himself, he's never going to be able to do a full Patronus if deep down he knows that he wants to hear his parents still. Nate, a few episodes ago, we talked about the
Wait,
4
can
ways.
I just say how I hate this is labeled trauma number 5, and then you're like, Nate, let's go into that a little bit more, bud.
Mambo number 5.
Hey, it's not quite as bad. It's not quite as bad. You brought up that there was 4 ways that Harry has been traumatized by the whole Dementor thing. Here's number 5. He kind of wants to hear his dead parents' screams.
A little bit.
Good Lord.
I just want to hear their voices, even if they are screaming. And you're like, holy shit, dark.
I do want to say that this is something that I think I want to do like a deep dive into the portrait lore, because the portraits can like embody, and I think it'll come up later in the book series too, but the portraits like embody, somebody's character, and it could speak.
Yeah.
It's not like a ghost. I don't know if they have to be painted while they're alive.
Yeah.
I don't know how the spell charm thing works, because I know photos don't talk.
Yeah.
But
yeah, portraits talk.
It would be cool if a portrait was made. I mean, maybe it was destroyed in their house fire.
Sure,
Me and you talked a little earlier. Maybe it was
be.
destroyed, but I mean, goddamn, would that be a better way to hear your parents' voice than in screaming?
Yeah. Well, and if he had asked about his parents to all these other people, he'd find out that apparently his dad came from a little bit of money, which means it seems more likely that even if it's him as a child, there might be a portrait of your dad.
Like family money, like maybe as a child, like maybe as a teen before he moved out.
Yeah.
And married that dirty muggle-born.
Oh, Jesus.
And and whatever. I'm just saying.
What just happened? Are you okay?
We're fucking inclusive on this podcast
We
here,
are.
JD.
I have some suspicions that if the Potters had money,
Yeah.
and they're all gone, right? We don't see any ties to them. The money did go to James, assuming maybe because that was the only option, but he doesn't talk about his parents at all ever. I mean, I believe they took in. We'll get into it later. Pin it for later.
Pin it. It's been pinned. We get a very quick reminder that Harry is in fact 13, because his last thought about all of this is he thinks to himself, they're dead, and listening to echoes of them will not bring them back, and then mentions that he's not going to be able to win the Quidditch Cup if he can't figure this out.
Just can't let go of the fucking Quidditch, man. You've got other things going on, dude.
I am 13, and Quidditch is important. And I can relate to that.
But especially in the context of you're talking about wanting to kill Black. Dementors could become a hindrance in that problem, so we should get it solved for that issue. But no, fucking sports ball.
Hell yeah.
I also feel like, I'm sure Dumbledore knows Lupin is doing this for Harry, but also, why teach the kid you're worried about getting around your Dementors because there's a serial killer chasing? Why give him an advantage? You know he's going to get into shit. I feel like somebody, if they knew about these lessons, they would probably shut it down.
Yeah, because the idea should be that because I believe the idea is Dumbledore's fucking pissed. And he didn't want them anywhere near the students.
Oh, so no, maybe Dumbledore
pitch.
would be all for it. They're like, yeah, fuck those Dementors.
He might be, but I guess my thought was that the idea is that he's not going to come into contact with the fucking Dementors. That's the whole point. That's what I told them. That's what I told him. He's going to stay in the goddamn castle. They're going to stay out of the goddamn castle. He can go to the Quidditch pitch. That's the only place he can go, and they can't go. This is a non-issue.
Case closed. We get a bit of a time jump forward, and we find out that Slytherin B. Ravenclaw... Slith?
Oh, is he here? Yes. Slytherin B. Ravenclaw. At your service,
Wow.
We find out that Slytherin beat Ravenclaw, but not by a lot, because points are the only thing that matters in Quidditch. But this means that Gryffindor can theoretically finish at least second place, if not higher, which is fantastic news with everything else that's going on right now.
But if he had his Firebolt, they could be first, so...
You're not the only one thinking that. This also means for Wood, though, that he is increasing the amount of Quidditch practices, leaving Harry with 1 night a week to do all of his homework, which I'm sure Harry is very efficient at using his time wisely. However, everything that's happening with Harry, still not as bad as what Hermione's got going on, because somehow she is taking multiple classes at one time. And that's a thing you can do.
And she looks burnt the fuck out.
Does anybody tell her she looks burnt out?
I think that, I don't know no, because Harry and Ron aren't talking to her right now.
Right.
But I think it is noted, which is super interesting to me, that Ron is paying very close attention to what the fuck she's doing, even when they're not talking.
Yeah.
He's talking to his classmates. He's like, Seamus said that she was in this class. Fucking Ernie McMillan, who's a fucking Hufflepuff, who's not even a Gryffindor, said that she was in all of her classes in Muggle studies, but she was with us over here. So, like, Ron, despite having the emotional depth of a teaspoon, despite being unobservant, despite all of his flaws, he's paying the fuck attention to Hermione and where the fuck she is when she is.
He is the one that brings it up quite often. Is how is she doing it? How is she doing it?
Yeah.
And Harry's like, what?
Main character Harry is like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man.
Does anybody really keep tabs on Hermione? I mean, come on, dude. We have 5 minutes together in between classes. She's either there or she's not.
Well, look, we don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but the reason Harry can't focus on these types of things is because motherfucking Oliver Wood keeps interrupting him with news about anything Quidditch related. And he says that he and McGee got into it a little bit. And I, goddamn it, fucking love Oliver Wood.
I do too.
Because he straight up tells McGonagall that he doesn't care if Harry gets kicked off the broom as long as he catches the snitch.
If he catches the snitch on the way down, that is a game win in my book.
McGee, do you not want to win? What's the problem here? God, I fucking love Oliver Wood.
You can't put that to McGee. She's like, fuck you. You know I want to win, you little sack of shit.
The only thing I didn't like about Wood is that he's like, look, man, you might have to just go and buy a Nimbus 2001, you know? Fucking Wood, are you paying for that shit? I don't think you are, and I think you need to fuck right off with that.
Well, and the other thing is there's no way that Harry would ever buy anything that Malfoy thinks is good.
Yeah, no, there's that. But I mean, granted, we all do know that, and I'm sure everybody in the school knows, Harry is a trust fund little baby. So I'm sure that they're all like, you got the money, asshole. Go buy a different broom.
The rule is, it shouldn't matter if Malfoy thinks it's good, as long as you have one first. Because if Malfoy gets it first, and then you show up with one, now you're just a copier. And Malfoy's got shit on you. But if you have one first, then you'd be like, doesn't matter if Malfoy has money. I had this, and then he had to run out and get it because, his dad.
If in an alternate universe, Malfoy shows up with the Nimbus 2000 in their first year and also gets put on the Slytherin team, Harry's not getting rid of that Nimbus 2000. He's going to keep riding it.
Right.
He's not going to go, well, Malfoy thinks it's good, so I'll get rid of it. No, he's going to keep riding it. But yeah, it's absolutely. He cannot be the second one. That's 100% everything that it is.
Now, we do find out at some point that some people say that after a couple of years, the Nimbuses lag over to the left. So, I mean,
That's
him
true.
just getting a newer one, he could just rub that in it'd just be like, hey, you have an old Nimbus 2001. That baby's listed to the left every time, motherfucker. This one's new.
Look, I want to talk a little bit more Quidditch, and we're about to do a little time travel in the books. I think we should take just a small little break, and then we'll be back right after this. We are back. We've been talking Quidditch. However, still no Firebolt as we continue through a small little time jump again in the chapter.
Harry's been assured that they're working on it, they're doing what they can, but the shit takes time, and no matter how long he thinks it's supposed to take, it's probably going to be longer than that. So he needs to chill the fuck out.
Absolutely the fuck not.
Oh shit.
Battle lines drawn. Fight.
I heard from a little birdie that Dumbledore is the goddamn best fucking wizard of fucking age, right?
True.
Why can't he do some quicker stuff? Why can't we contact some fucking broom manufacturers, okay? Why can't do some shit to expedite this process, or I am going to be up your asshole until I can have my brand new shiny toy back.
Look, I respect the fact that you need time to fix or check my new broom. However, this is of the utmost importance, and it needs to be done quickly.
Yeah, otherwise, scrap the fucking broom. I'll buy a new one, but you owe me for that one. How about that?
Ooh.
How about Yeah.
Oh, shit. There you go.
Because I want my new fucking broom, and I'm tired of it, and I do have the money to float it. I don't want to fucking have to.
Yeah, meet me
Okay.
at Quidditch Supplies, bitch.
Yeah, this was a gift to me. So if you will not allow me to have my property, then I can go purchase new property, but then you will owe me for the property that you have in your possession that you have fucked up.
American Harry Potter plays a bit different than British Harry Potter. Now, to your point, Jade, it is mentioned that Harry asks after every single class, and he's asked at least 12 times.
Yeah.
We don't know his exact schedule. I don't know if he has 2 classes a week. If he has 1 class and then 2 classes, then it's a rotation. I have no idea. We never get told specifics. But 12 instances of asking about his broom, and they apparently still don't have answers. I'm trying to figure out what Big Hogwarts is up to right now.
As a reader, I feel like this might have been a couple of weeks tops.
I think so. I think it's probably 2 classes a week.
That's still 6 times a week. So, I mean, really, every time he sees her, he's going to bring it up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Honestly, for a 13-year-old kid, that doesn't
Tracks.
feel like really over what they, that's what they do.
Good
Every
point.
time you
Great
see them,
point.
they're going to be like, hey, is it done yet?
No, and you know what?
No,
Lunch.
fuck off.
Lunch, corridors, going
Class.
to the teacher's lounge,
Yeah.
asking,
You know what?
Quidditch practice,
If you
sending owls.
If you want shit done, that's what you gotta fucking do. You
What's-
know what? I don't blame him.
Hey, what the fuck does that squeaky wheel get?
Exactly.
It gets
He
the
gets
grease.
the
That's right.
And you know what? At this point, it's been so long that I am really starting to lose faith in you guys as handling my broom. If it's been this fucking long, I don't really trust you guys are able to take on the task that you have besotted upon yourselves. So I really think we need to call somebody else and get this fucking done.
I don't like American Harry Potter.
If somebody took our brand new mixer before you got your hands on it and said, I need to test it, and they had it for upwards of 3 weeks, and they kept just telling you, you know what, we have to do just a couple more tests on it. And these people are not even the people who make and manufacture fucking Roadcaster Pros. So my thoughts are just I think that you would probably be pretty fucking pissed about that.
That's a wand drop, motherfucker. How you feeling now, Nate?
Avada Kedavra. And maybe again.
I'm just saying.
And again. Okay, I'm done.
Somebody took your brand new toy and they were testing it for that long and
No,
they didn't give you
100%.
answers? Mm-mm.
Much like
Not okay.
actually almost kind of happened with the mixer, and
Yeah.
I fucking bothered them every goddamn day to get it back. And I am an adult.
It sounds like this is a description of things that aren't going well. Similarly to Harry's anti-Dementor lessons, they are not going quite as well as he had hoped because he is continuing to feel guilty about wanting to hear his dead parents.
Well, maybe he should take therapy and that would help.
Harry Potter and the Therapist. It's a short story that's 500 pages long, not a 7-book series. But yes, look, Harry thinks that he should be able to produce something that would like charge down a Dementor. And Lupin clarifies that is what a proper Patronus would do.
He's like, oh yeah, it's going to be badass if you could do it right.
Harry has enough progress Lupin thinks, to not fall off his broom if Dementors do show up at his next Quidditch match.
It's not going to be as bad as it has been before. And like Lupin says in this chapter, like even being able to make it a little bit is like a huge achievement.
Oh, huge.
So he's doing really well, much better than it's been. And I think he's going to be okay.
I will say it is a little bit daunting because when he first started this, he mentioned that it was trying to produce the happy spell was like wearing him out as he was doing it. So if you don't choose the right thought or execute it correctly, you're wearing yourself down, which means that as soon as you if you don't execute it correctly, you are fucked. You are not going to get a second chance probably because you have drained yourself of your happy
Each
while trying to do
attempt
it.
is going to be less effective
Yeah.
than the one before.
Right.
Yeah.
In his first lesson, 3 was the cutoff. So I'm assuming probably close to that same number for each follow-up lesson. He's only getting 3 attempts every. So, like, yeah, it's mentioned at the beginning that this is very advanced magic. And I think he even says that it's like, this is above like NEWT, which is 7th year level spells. This is
Right.
even above that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the fact that he can do even a little bit is fucking huge. But it's not a proper Patronus.
No, it's not really what is intended. It's kind of funny to me that now we're talking about a spell that Harry's learning, and you can't just do it as many times as you want to. Every time you do it, kind of less effective than the last time. Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Nate,
I don't
Nate,
understand what's happening. What are you talking
will
about?
you allow one question?
Yeah.
Are you talking about a teenager masturbating?
No. That. No.
that says, yeah, okay.
You wouldn't be wrong. You wouldn't be wrong.
That's all. There's quite a few things so far in this book that they're like, look,
I'm just saying,
It's
there's going to be
not.
some people who
Hey,
don't
but it
understand that
is.
because
Hey.
you know what? I am not a teenage boy. I don't.
There is an allegory for depression in the book. Maybe there's an allegory for jerking off too much in the book.
imagine you find a magic spell that makes you feel fucking great.
Hey, I know.
And then you just can't do it as many
For a
times.
short period of time, a little bit of white stuff flies out, and you can't keep doing it all night.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I
I
understand
hate-
rubbing
it's
one
right
off,
there.
but the limit thing is okay.
I hate everything this podcast has become. I wish, in fact, that I had some butterbeer to wash this down. Harry does. He gets butterbeer. And the fucking idiot self-reports again, mentioning that he's had butterbeer before.
Oops.
And Lupin starts side-eyeing him, because the only way you could have that is if you went to Hogsmeade. And him telling Lupin that Ron and Hermione brought him some back? That's not believable.
That's
but
not. There's got to be some sort of policy, like, hey, we're not trying to bring like candy. Fine, no liquids, because we're not trying to have drunk students here, whatever. So,
Well-
like, there's a bit of policy Lupin knows about that
Well,
would not allow them to have done that or something.
How often do you buy bottled beer from a bar that you could take home?
Also true.
Lupin might be able to get his hands on it, but the kids aren't going to know how. But also, it's just the fact that Lupin before he even pulls it out, he's like, "This is something you will have not had before."
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Harry follows that baby and like, "Oh yeah, I know what that is."
Immediately
Yeah.
shoots it down. Yeah.
So
I've given a bottle of what I thought was very cool Harley Davidson themed whiskey to a friend before, and then was immediately pointed out like they had 5 or 6 of the empties up on their shelf, and I was just like, ah, damn, I thought this was really cool. They were very appreciative. They weren't like, it doesn't matter, but I was just also,
well, yeah, it's
not special.
It's not like your second butterbeer is just nowhere near as good as the first. It's still good, but it's not the first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, so Harry immediately self-reports and like he risks.
Who is Riskus?
I don't know.
Hello, mysterious stranger.
I don't know. But he risks having the butterbeer taken away, probably, in my opinion, because, he's going to get sent to detention because he's going places he shouldn't be. And then he brings up what is under a Dementor's hood because he thinks that's a good conversation to have over butterbeer.
Well, they got to be fucking scary looking, right? Like,
No.
they got to be
Hey.
scary looking.
Here's the thing. And everyone that knows can't talk.
Well, their hands are like rotten and like they can't look good.
What's under the hood, no one knows, because the only time they lower their hood is to perform a Dementor's kiss, which does not kill you, but it does French kiss the soul out of you, and it's what's in store for Sirius Black. And I see we got a couple of questions among the classroom right now. Jade, you had your hand up first. Do you have a question?
Okay, I have a couple of questions / points, I guess. So the first thing is just that, like, yeah, it's a natural. Aaron, this is a natural question. We're fighting them. I keep seeing those creepy hands. Is it just like a skeleton, weird, decayed motherfucker under there? Is that all I'm looking at? Is that what's going on?
That's what I was gonna say. This is Lydia Dietz. Goosebumps. What does it look like under there? Is it Night of the Living Dead under there? That's what Harry's doing.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course they're
what you would
fucking
assume.
scary.
Yeah. Second point, in all the years, in all the time that these things have existed, nobody has ever witnessed one, especially when they have been ordered by the court of the law. They've never had an onlooker, a witness to a Dementor's kiss. You're telling me that? I think that that's bullshit. I think that somebody do know, and they don't want people to know. I think that Lupin doesn't know what he's talking about.
I agree. I was going to say we get a lot of examples of what seemingly appears to be a majority of the Ministry of Magic being full of very prim and proper people who, even if they did sneak a peek at a Dementor's kiss being performed, they would know that it was not proper to have done so, and then will therefore not admit that they have seen it. So I agree. I think a lot of people have seen it, but they are never going to admit it. And the other thing is, it might be fucking horrifying.
It's probably horrifying.
And something you don't want to bring up.
Also
and then
for
once you
science,
see
though,
it,
I'm
it'll
just
fuck
saying.
with you,
But for
and
science,
then
I
the
do
Dementor will be attracted to you more, and then they'll fucking come after you because you were so horrified because you saw it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, this seems like a very effective form of punishment. If we aren't into the whole murder game, this seems like an effective thing. I would guess that you would use that, and I would guess that wouldn't be a secret back alley fucking thing that happens.
Two quick things to your two things. One, I think it's a good question, just not over butterbeer. I would have done that before the butterbeer came out. Two, Sirius Black deserves it, though. Harry can't say
Yeah.
why, but he absolutely agrees that Black deserves it. Now, this completely killed the mood again, because Harry does that a lot after these lessons with Lupin.
Seems to be good at that lately.
Instead of spending the time to ask the friend of your father what your father was like, Harry. I don't have a problem with it, though. I'm fine. Harry is so distracted by the horror that is under a Dementor's hood, he runs physically, not metaphorically. He physically runs into McG, who is carrying his fucking firebolt.
Fuck yeah, give me that right now. Bye.
And does, in fact, hand it to him.
Hell yes.
It has been cleared. We are good to go.
He's like, really, really? She's like, really? You get
There's-
to see friendly McG, which I
Yeah,
like.
I do too. And
Smiling McG.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yes.
there's absolutely no way I'm running back up to the cool friends. I want to show my friends too, but you know who I'm going outside.
Yeah, no, we're writing it now.
They will see me out the window and come find me,
I
or
can
I'll
float
tell
to
them
the
later.
window.
Yeah,
You'll be like, haha,
Yeah.
guys, look.
exactly.
Fuck
I'll
yeah.
fly up to the window and
Bye.
be like, I got it back. Bye.
Can't stress how much bye I would be saying right
Yeah.
now. Have to leave.
Yeah, this is about me, not them. Really, I'm gonna go fly my fucking broom.
It's springtime and your bike is ready to go.
Right.
Sorry, I'm going to go eat road.
McG, in what I would think a 13-year-old's mind, even says, I dare say you'll need to get the feel of it before Saturday's match. 13-year-old Aaron is saying, McG told me I can go fly this thing right now because I need to get the feel of it before Saturday's match.
Well, and I didn't jump on it before they took it the last time. Absolutely not. Am I gonna wait another second?
Yeah. Or here's the other thing. Real quick, McG, we're in a corridor. Can I quick ride it?
Hey,
Please, McG.
ask forgiveness, not permission, bud.
Oh,
You hop on that bitch and you just start flying
Hey,
out of the school.
I think Happy McG goes down and back real quick, Potter. Down and back real
That's-
quick and then off to bed.
It's buying shoes at a legitimate shoe store.
Yeah.
Would you like to put these in the box? Or no, thanks. I'm going to wear them out. I'm riding the broom out of the building.
Yes.
None of that happens, but Harry does have a nice little character moment I think is important to bring up, and he does pretty quickly mention that he and Ron should make up with Hermione because her heart was in the right place. She's just a bit of an asshole about things sometimes.
I suppose we can forgive her.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, on the way back, they run into Neville, who can't get in because Sir Cadogan changes the passwords so much, which seems pretty fucked up, I'm not going to lie, because we have 11-year-olds trying to get in and out of this portrait hole.
Yeah.
I don't trust an 11-year-old to remember a shitload of passwords.
Sir Cadogan, look, we've got a protocol here, right? It's chained every so often, the fat lady was taking care of it. She was attacked. You are to assume her responsibilities, i.e., once a week, tops. So pick one, make it good, and then fucking leave it, because we got poor Neville, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think this is something that the prefect should have brought to the higher ups and been like, hey, portrait, great, we have one. I'm glad we have one. They should have some parameters, right, for the portrait hole saying, hey, man,
100%.
we have this long that you have to keep the password at. These are the rules. These are the things you should look out for.
And him being a man of duty would want to do those things.
Maybe not well, but he would want to.
And not even prefect. The motherfucking head boy is a Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Percy might be a little bit of a dick sometimes, but like this is a legitimate it's a concern.
Yeah.
I think Percy would back that.
He should.
But yeah, we don't get that. Instead, we find out that Neville has just written all the passwords down on a piece of paper, and every IT department's biggest worry just came true. He lost the sheet of passwords.
Oh, of course.
And now we have to reset everything.
Now, let's 100-foot this. There's a potential serial killer in the school.
Or at least with access to the school.
Harry has just received a new magical broom that was delivered where?
At the end of his bed.
That's what my question is. Are they delivered directly to them by the gift givers, or are they brought to a room somewhere first?
But it stands to reason if fucking Neville has now lost a sheet of passwords and Harry has received a gift that nobody knows where it comes. You know, you're probably right. Because their Christmas presents were all put at the foot of the bed by the house elves.
But yes.
But okay. But they're well, okay, I understand. But the point is that there would be a chain of command. Somebody would know. There would be somebody to ask. But since nobody knows, it's got to be somebody outside of that chain of command, i.e., must have been serious. And if Neville's missing a sheet of passwords, I mean, I'm not saying it's plausible. I'm saying it's possible. He found the sheet of passwords and now no longer needs the fat lady to let him in.
We do know that the presents go to the dorms because that's been mentioned in the other Christmases as well.
Yeah.
The movie shows them as in the common room. We have not been told how they get there, but they are straight into the dorms.
Yes, that's all. But straight from where?
Exactly.
Aaron? That's what I'm wondering.
Why is no one asking why?
Like, the Dursleys' gifts go straight to the common room.
Yeah. How do the Dursleys? First of all, how do the Dursleys' gifts get there? Good for the Dursleys for putting in that effort to make that happen.
Even if it's a sock, I don't understand that. We're off topic.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of commotion going on about this. Imagine the commotion that Harry gets enveloped in when he does, in fact, get through the portrait hole into the common room with the motherfucking firebolt in his hand.
And people touching it and being like, let me ride it, let me ride it. No, I'm going out right now. I'm leaving. You don't get to we're not bringing my firebolt to the fucking room.
Absolutely not.
What the fuck?
And I love Ron. Do you know what I'm not doing? Letting Ron bring my firebolt up to the dorm just because he needs to give just because he needs to give Scabbers rat tonic. My broom is not leaving my hand until I lock it in my trunk.
Absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying.
However, with all the commotion going on, 13-year-old Harry's a little overwhelmed. Ron takes the firebolt upstairs to lock it away because he does need to feed Scabbers. Harry and Hermione have a little nice moment here.
They don't have a nice moment.
It's kind of a nice moment.
No, Harry sits down and he's trying to make up with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not once does he go, hey. He goes, hey, I got it back. She's like, yeah, cool. And he's like, hey, it was fine. And she's like, it could have been bad. Nobody goes, Hermione, we get that. I hear you. I just want to be cool. All right? I just want to be cool. He starts immediately attacking her about her class and her workload and how she should drop classes.
Yeah.
He doesn't say anything that's like, hey, I understand. There's no bridge crossing between here. He's just like, got my shit back. So we can bear the hatchet. What are you doing here? This looks fucked up. Why don't you fix your situation, Hermione?
He does. He just says, can I sit down? She says, I suppose. And then he says, how are you getting through all this?
Yeah.
So after the initial bad approach, she is about to go into how wonderful her classes are. So it's like, for 13-year-olds, I'll give them a little bit partial credit.
All right.
We don't get very far, though, because Ron comes screaming down the stairs with a bloody bed sheet and orange cat hairs found at the scene of the crime. And Scabbers is nowhere to be found.
I mean, we all have an assumption here, right?
Oh, some people have very strong assumptions.
Some other human person with short red hair snuck into there and then obviously murdered Ron's rat, right?
Sirius Black, who famously has
red hair,
short red hair, killed Scabbers.
Obviously.
Nate, that's insane. Why in the world would a serial killer want to kill a rat? Get out of here.
Crookshanks couldn't have done it. He's a cat.
Listen, I think Hermione would have more ground to stand on if she wasn't such an asshole carrying the cat around everywhere.
Yeah.
That, the rat looked shitty already. The blood is what it is, okay? It would still be like, whatever, but you have a little bit of a light to be like, it was an old rat. I'm sorry. Like, hey, but you've been parading that asshole around. Just like
you introduced the problem and then consistently held up the problem, no matter how much I bitched about it. And now something terrible has happened because of it. Yeah, it is your fault. Even if it's not, it is.
Yeah.
Like, it should have been avoidable, and it wasn't even, you didn't even attempt to.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to blame you.
Yeah.
Even if this was out of your hands,
right.
It's still your fault.
We discussed this a little bit before, but now we have quite an update on this. What do you guys think with this whole Hermione and Scabbers and Ron and Crookshanks? Because we've let you know how we feel, but maybe you want to let us know how you feel.
You can let us know how you feel about this by sending an owl to podcast ATT. And, oh my goodness, that's the wrong button. Oh no. Guys, I've blown up the studio. What do we do?
I thought it would happen sooner. I thought it would happen like the very first time we tried.
I've been so good about that.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
Well, if you need to know where you can send some money to help fix the studio after I accidentally blew it up, or if you wanted to let us know what you thought about this episode, this is the right button. You can send an owl to podcastatt@gmail.com, or you can follow all of our repair progress over on our social medias. If you really enjoyed this episode and wanted to hear more things like this, you can go to patreon.com/podcastatt and subscribe to any tier. We've got a whole bunch of cool stuff over there. Watch-alongs, games, side quests, live episodes too that we do with our patrons, and we would love to see you there. But until then, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you real soon.
Bye.
Crookshanks, fatality. What?
That was fucking awesome.
Is that? I have to admit something. I don't actually play a lot of Mortal Kombat. Is that what they say?
That is very much
Do
what
they say
say
the name and then fatality? Is it the name of the person who won or the name of the person who dies?
Fatality.
Oh, okay, so I didn't do it. Okay, so it'll pass.
But
It'll
it
pass.
was good.
Okay.
It was good.
Okay, thanks.